Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer and welcome to a new playthrough video. Today I am playing another scenario of The Feast of Hemlock Vale for Arkham Horror the card game. This one does not appear to be involving any card play. It's a prelude which comes between the various scenarios. So I am now in the evening of the first day. So this is prelude first evening. Let me go ahead and read this to you. If you'll remember, I was in the mines and I escaped. As you return to Hemlock Vale, a young red-headed girl in a rabbit mask introduces herself as Rebecca, Mother Rachel's daughter, and leads you by the hand to dinner in the Commons. The long building's large barn doors are open to let out the rich scent of roasted vegetables and savory meat. The people of the Vale sit and eat in lively conversation, each of them in their white gold cloaks. At the head of the room, Mother Rachel stands up and calls for attention. Rebecca leads you to the now picked-over dinner spread as the room falls silent. Mein lieben Freund, I guess that's my honored friends, I think. What a blessing that all of us have come here on the threshold of infinity. And what a greater blessing still that pilgrims have come here so full of light and curiosity. Mother Rachel gestures to Dr. Marquez to her right and to you. We have waited for the right moment to open our community which is truly the, quote, sanctuary of transfiguration, end quote, we long dreamed of. For each of us yearns to be remade as we wait to join our light with the light of the cosmos. The room bursts into applause as Leah Atwood and several locals place trays of honeyed cakes topped with robust red fruit in the center of each table. Your stomach grumbles as you take a bite of shriveled greens. It has a faint, bitter taste and a sharp smell. One at a time, each investigator must decide individually. Keep eating. In your campaign log, you'll record, finish their meal, or don't eat anymore. Well, I would assume after a day of wandering around the mines, I'm hungry. So not suspecting anything foul, I'm going to say, let's keep eating. So I will record that both investigators finish their meal. So this is Prelude 1, the first evening. And I'm just going to make a note. Both investigators finish meal. I'm probably going to regret that, but it just seems like the most obvious thing to do if you're hungry, right? Okay, you may choose where to sit for the community meal. One at a time, each investigator may choose a different codex entry from the following. If there is only one, you may choose two. After you have read the appropriate number of sections, proceed to Resolution 1. All right, so I could choose to sit with Dr. Marquez, Mother Rachel, and William at the head of the table. Judith's face is pinched in frustration as she talks to River. To join them, do this. Leah, well, okay, the only one that's not going to happen is Simeon, because I lost Simeon. I guess he died or something in the last mission. I don't know if he died or got lost in the mines. That remains to be seen. Some children in animal mass eat honeyed cake in the corner. To sit with them, choose this option. To sit alone, choose this option. Well, let's spread out. I will have Wilson, who is the handyman. He seems to be... Wilson will sit with... Leah is watching the room as Gideon talks to her. Let me talk to Leah and Gideon. So they will go... Wilson will go to Leah and Gideon. And that leaves Alessandra... I want her to listen to what Mother Rachel has to say. Okay, so let's do Mother Rachel. That is book number Omega. All right, and then Codex number Omega. And then Gideon is Codex Sigma. All right, so let's do Omega, which is this very first one, I think. Yeah, all right. As you seat yourself across from William and Mother Rachel, a thin old woman with bronze skin stares morosely at you. Mother, please. William vainly attempts to spoon-feed her chowder as her eyes follow you, lips pursed. Mother Rachel and Dr. Marquez sip earthy tea as you seat yourself. I have been wondering about the history of this place, the professor says to Mother Rachel. She nods to you to speak up. You must decide what to say. Do you ask who are the Atwoods? Who are the children of the stars? Or who are the Hemlocks? Well, who did she mention? I don't know why I would ask about any of those, but I'm sure at some point I'm going to ask who are the children of the stars. Skip to Hemlock Legacy 3. All right, Hemlock Legacy 3.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.
We are simply quiet people of good faith. I was born on Hemlock Isle and studied abroad for many years. I attended seances with Sarah Winchester, studied mesmerism in France, and became a member of the Ghost Club in London. Everywhere I studied, I learned more and more of our connectedness, our many-faceted oneness. And so I brought my learning home to my family where it always belongs. Increase Mother Rachel's relationship level, and each investigator earns 1 bonus XP. All right, so Mother Rachel is +1. I'll have to get these added up. And XP is +1 per investigator. Okay. And then I need to do Sigma, which is here, Old Blood. A lazy fly buzzes around the central table. Leah sits at the edge of her seat scanning the room as Gideon idly scrapes the gravy on his plate. They look up as you arrive. You must decide. I heard you were a sailor, Gideon. Or, Leah, tell me about your work. Leah's the one I found in the, I befriended in the mines. Let's talk to her. So, Leah, tell me about your work. Skip to Old Blood 3. When am I not working, Leah sighs. There are 50 mouths to feed in Hemlock Vale, and Rachel tells me there will be hundreds more for the feast. Assuming we don't run out of food during the feast, there'll be nothing left to eat after. And when I ask Rachel, all she says is, just trust in the plan, Leah. Increase Leah's Atwood relationship level. Each investigator earns 1 bonus point. Now, Leah Atwood was already at +1, so now she's at +2. XP +1 per investigator. So each of my investigators is now at 4. Okay, 4 XP. Is that right? 4 XP. Yeah. All right. And then it says, if Leah searched the Pearl Ruins, which I did not write that down, so that does not appear to be the case, go to Old Blood 4. Otherwise, stop reading. Okay, so I stop reading, and then I go to the resolution. The evening chatter fades as residents trickle out of the commons. There is an uncharacteristic spring in Dr. Marquez's step as you reconvene outside the commons. The sunset casts the sky in shades from ochre to lilac to violet. The professor cracks a handful of walnuts as you share your impression of Hemlock Isle. This island has the density and special variance of a jungle, but it's far more dangerous than any jungle. I have no clue why someone would start a commune in such a hazardous environment, but I understand it wasn't always so deadly. Something was introduced and fundamentally changed the local ecosystem, Dr. Marquez muses. You mention the unusually good mood shared by everyone in the village, and the professor nods. Most everyone looks blissed out of their minds. It's like walking into an opium den. But as far as I can tell, the food isn't laced with anything, though I didn't try the bread pudding. I've never liked bread, and the last time I had pudding was in Oxford. The professor's reference to the prestigious university brings Bertie Musgrave to mind, and you ask where he is. You haven't seen him? I assumed he went back to the boarding house to rest, she scowls. Theo offered to lend us his truck for the evening. I thought we could observe some of the local wildlife at night, but I suppose we should find him first. A heavy breeze stirs the trees and grass around you, smelling of cedar and pine. Dr. Marquez grips her cane. If you'd rather take the truck and continue the survey, I can look for Bertie on my own. Each investigator earns the bonus XP during the prelude. Record each XP under unspent, but do not spend any of it until the end of the next scenario, so I can't upgrade anything. Now the investigators must decide. Search for Bertie Musgrave with Dr. Marquez, which then means I proceed to the Twisted Hollow, or gather more information on Hemlock Isle. check the areas surveyed section of your campaign log and choose a scenario that has not yet been checked off. If you do, add 1 tombstone token and 1 heart token to the chaos bag for the remainder. All right, so would I want to go look for Birdie with Dr. Marquez, or would I want to do more investigation? I don't know. Let's roll for it. 1, 2, 3, I go with Dr. Musgrave. I go with Dr. Musgrave. So we are going to go hunt for Birdie Musgrave. And that is page 34. Proceed to the Twisted Hollow. So the next scenario that I will be doing is called the Twisted Hollow. And I'll be back very soon with that video where there will be card play. All right, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me on this very fast mid-point prelude to the Feast of Hemlock Vale. I'll be back very soon with the next Arkham Horror game. Until then, everybody, take care.